Welcome, everybody. Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. This week, Wheezy and I are going to sit down and chat about the fallout that was Backlash. What a premium live event Puerto Rico put on. And first off, Wheezy, before I get into seeing how you were, what about that fucking crowd?
Oh my God. Amazing crowd. I honestly didn't expect it to be that wild. I
didn't either. Like when Bad Bunny came out, like, and the crowd's just like this, and anyone who said that that sound was pumped in, shut the up. Seriously. Like, not a chance. There's no way that crowd sound was pumped in. Like, not a chance. Not
even that. They were literally singing his song.
I know.
Yeah, they pumped that in.
It was so good. But Wheezy, how you been?
Good. Busy. Good.
Yeah.
Sober.
Liar.
Sober right now.
Oh, for once.
Yeah,
well, you're not in your garage. Fair. You're not in your garage. Anyways, guys, so we are going to do a breakdown of what was WWE's Backlash live from Puerto Rico. I think hands down, Wheezy, this might have been one of the top 3 premium live events since Triple H took over. What are your first initial thoughts?
Absolutely. And I wasn't expecting it. You don't ever think that Backlash is the one that's going to be real good because it's kind of just regurgitated WrestleMania, but they kicked out the WrestleMania from the Backlash, and I'm shook.
You're shook.
You're
shook. We're going to have to caption that one because Wheezy is shook from how good this was. All right, let's start with first match of the night, Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. Now, I'm going to let you run with this one because I actually had not even gotten online until about halfway through this match because of technical difficulties. Can you run through this match? Because I've only seen half of it, and there's one big spot I want to talk about, but I want to get your opinion on how this match overall went.
Surprising. You know, I don't know. I didn't know a whole lot about Io from the get-go. First of all, didn't know a whole lot about Io from the get-go. I'm not super hot on Bianca at the moment either, which I feel like might be a little bit of a hot take, but I'm just not super invested in anything that she's doing. I really didn't want her to continue with the championship, but here we are. From what I was paying attention to, because I wasn't totally sober when I was watching. It was the first match of the night, dude. Give me a break. The crowd helped.
Yeah.
I love the match. It was great. They both looked so strong. The crowd, I don't know that I would have been as invested in it if the crowd wasn't the way that it was, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But that being said, I was surprised. In a good way. Definitely in a good way. What specific spot are you talking about?
I'll get to that in a sec, but like for myself, I've read a lot of reviews on this match. And first off, it was the 3rd longest match on the card, which I was very surprised by, that the fact that they were going to open the match up with Bianca versus Io, considering not a lot of people had as much invested in this match compared to the rest of the matches on the card. Sure. This one was just like kind of that sleeper that you thought would maybe be mid-card. I was surprised they opened with it.
Genuinely, yes.
From what I've read, a lot of people were very over on this match and approved of how the women went out and really performed and kicked off the show the right way. But I need to know, does Bianca have a receipt coming? Because from the spot that I saw with her, I guess, showboating and doing a one-handed Io press and then virtually dropping her on her face, it was one of the ugliest spots I have ever seen with Bianca Belair involved in a match. I was straight up in fear for Io because I thought she did land on her neck. But
I remember now, yeah.
That's a spot that you expect from Nia Jax or Brie Bella, not from the 400-day reign of Bianca Belair, who is virtually one of the most powerful women in the business. Yeah. And is overall a safe worker. Yes, everyone deserves, like, you know, they get an accident every now and again, but an accident in this industry could lead to, you know, early retirement.
For sure.
And I just need to know, like, what everyone else is feeling. I've not been able to talk to anyone about this because it's been a couple of days and we've all been busy, but like, what's your opinion on that? What was she doing? What was with that spot? And why do you think it went so wrong?
Do you know me? Do you watch my content? You're talking to literally the worst possible person to talk about something like that happening. Because from my perspective personally, I don't work in the ring. I understand that, yes, that could potentially be super dangerous. We've seen people, their careers being changed and shook up because of carelessness in that regard. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what happened, if it was a slip, what was miscommunicated, if anything. I don't know, and I never feel like I have the authority to really discuss it, because the whole botch, I don't.
Yeah, see, I was trying to avoid using that word. It was just,
I know.
It was just one of those ones where I sat there and I looked at it and I saw the look on Bianca's face instantly when she went to the ropes and sat back, and you just saw the I fucked up look in her eyes. And I was like, okay, so that wasn't part of the match, and that was as sloppy as it looked. So, and listen, I know a lot of people look at our channel and say, why does everyone always shit on Bianca? Because it seems like Santi's been doing it lately. I've been doing it. You haven't. Kevin's been a little bit. You just said you were bored of her and you didn't want to see her to continue. So it's been a trend that we tend to look at more of the negative with Bianca, which I think we should really both change, or all of us should change. Even myself, I have actually noticed a lot more of improvement with her, but that spot really bugged me, and I just wanted to touch on it. But overall, really good match, and it was a really great way to kick off the card.
You've been way more positive lately about it, by the way.
I'm trying.
You really have.
I'm trying.
But also, okay, so with her too, generally, she's a pretty safe worker.
Yep.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
It does. There's no avoiding of that when you're doing live entertainment and physical stunts. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, that one just scared me a little bit.
Shook ya.
Yeah, anyways.
It's my word for the day.
Okay, let's move into Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed in the triple threat match for the US title, which surprisingly was only under 7 minutes.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot happened in 7 minutes.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
That's all they needed.
This match, I thought at the start, had Bronson Reed had no business being this good in this match. He's such a good worker, and he's becoming better and better and better and better. And I love the fact that he's going to be on Raw, going into matches with the likes of Gunther, potentially, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Omos, some big names where he can really show his skill and his progression, because what he did in this 7 minutes, I sat there and I went, this big man should not be able to move like this. We've seen him perform. But
I think that was generally how I felt the whole time just watching him.
Yeah.
Surprised. And I didn't know a whole lot about him when he was down in NXT. I'm learning more about him as time goes on, but didn't expect that.
No. That second rope to the outside onto Lashley, I thought he was going to decapitate Bobby Lashley with his stomach. It just looked so scary. And then he just gets
Bobby Lashley.
Oh, I know. No smaller character could do that or take that bump. So I was just very impressed by that. But overall, this match kind of went exactly how we expected it to. The two big guys were going to work, and Theory was going to get the typical slimy heel finish.
Of course. But it was entertaining in the process.
It was entertaining as all hell, and I'm okay with it. And Theory gets to keep the title, go to SmackDown, and begin some great feuds. I really think this one was... I don't think we have to cover too much on this, because overall, it was a great match.
No, served its purpose, did what it was supposed to do. Everyone looks great coming out from the end of it, so
yeah,
no complaints.
Absolutely. I want to get into Rhea and Zelina Vega. And again, only about a 7-minute match, but it feels like the entrances were just as long for this match. And I guess the emotion I don't know, it got to me. I don't know.
It got to me too.
Yeah, like it's
Just knowing what you know about Zelina Vega, her passion for the industry, her background, her heritage. I mean, you could just see the emotion in her face from the moment that she stepped out there, and the crowd being behind her the way that they were. Get me a little misty.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to what's Bully Ray's podcast again? What's that one called?
Busted Open.
I was listening to Busted Open with Mark Henry, Bully Ray, and I can't remember the other guy that's involved with him. And Bully
Dave LaGreca.
That's it. And Bully Ray made mention to this was Zelina Vega's WrestleMania. This was her WrestleMania moment. And WWE missed a incredible opportunity with this in not putting the title on Zelina for a short period of time and giving her the opportunity to go to the World Trade Center Memorial and put the WWE title next to her dad's name and just kind of just stand there and say, you know what, Dad, I did it type thing. I am entitled to agree with Bully Ray on this, and I don't agree with him often. I'll tell you right now, Bully Ray and Jim Cornette, I tend not to agree with a lot, but this one, Bully Ray hit the nail on the head. I think WWE missed a massive opportunity. I think Puerto Rico needed, outside of the Bad Bunny thing, which we'll get to, Puerto Rico needed a massive win on this, and I think how Zelina came out, the passion, her family there, I agree. What do you think?
I want to agree, and in a way I definitely do, because I honestly hadn't even thought of that point. I hadn't listened to Busted Open yet. Her going back to the World Trade Center and everything, being able to hold the title for just a little while. But I think we also all knew going into it that there was no way that they were going to risk making Rhea look.
No, she's too hot.
I don't want to. Yeah. I get why they couldn't.
Mhm.
I get why they couldn't. It was just poor timing.
Yeah.
Poor timing. If they had been able to do this maybe 6 months from now or even a year from now, it would have been the great timing, but it was just too soon.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think when you have lightning in a bottle like they have with Rhea right now, like, she's so hot. Like, both women's champions in WWE right now. Well, Rhea's so hot. Bianca is starting to cool down a little bit, and I think we're going to see a change, soon. But it's one of those ones where you're like, you can't mess with something that is this good.
No, and I understand that. And Selena has waited so long. She's waited so long for even exposure or her moment, or not being just the manager, you know. I'm glad that this was the place that she really got to do it.
I really wish we could have seen Tommy in the crowd, or sorry, Alistair in the crowd, just for that moment. I was looking for him.
Yeah.
But hopefully he was there in the back supporting. But that was one of those ones I was like, where is he type thing. Seth freaking Rollins and Omos. Do you want to run with this one, Weezy, or?
Almost Sapiens Rise. Oh my God. I was excited for it from the get-go. I don't know how other people are feeling about just the random Omos matches. I don't know why it's happening, but I am not mad about it, just because it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I really wanted to know how Seth was going to make him look good, because you knew it was going to be good. Seth's involved. Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Every bit of it. Just seeing them in the ring too. The size difference was baffling. Yeah. Baffling to me.
And Seth's not small.
He's not. No.
No, he's not small at all. And I think they started the match off perfect. Like that blackout crowd with them singing Seth in and just the boot to the head. I thought they made Omos look so good in this match. Yeah. This whole free agency thing, I'm still not too sure about it. Like, I don't understand it. And I don't know why Omos got this position, but okay, sure. But with Seth Rollins, it's almost like he can't do wrong. Everything he touches and everyone he is put with looks like $1 million.
And everyone knows it too.
Yeah, and this is why we can go down the road of why he should be the first world heavyweight champion. I think
argument for me.
Exactly. So this match, I loved every bit of it, and Omos doesn't look weak coming out of it.
I love to hear you say that. Yes.
No, I agree. Like I will.
He's an Omos sapien.
I am. Hey, no, I'm an OT sapien. Okay, OT sapien.
Well, I mean, me too.
Listen,
Me too.
I will take Otis over Omos.
Okay, me too. We can agree there.
But no, like, Omos did not look weak coming out of this match. He got all the accolades he deserved, and I really think this pushes Omos into an area where a mid-card is not out of the question at this point.
For sure.
Yeah.
It just keeps elevating him the more that he does at this point.
Yeah.
So.
I was just really surprised there was no run-in. Like, no Hurt Business, no Logan Paul, no, especially with Logan Logan and Jake both being billed out of Puerto Rico. Like, yeah. I'm very surprised that there was no Jake, Logan, or Hurt Business. I would just, like, what the fuck? So.
The Pauls were busy.
Maybe. All right, let's go. I'm saving two specific matches for last. So we're going to go to the Bloodline versus Riddle, Owens, and Zayn. Oh, boy. This could be an episode in itself, this match.
You first.
22 minutes they were given to tell almost three different stories. The final fallout of Jay and Sammy. The dissension within the Bloodline, and a potential feud between Solo and Jay.
There's so much going on.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm glad I was having a couple of beers during this, because I was so, like, going different ways with this. And the match ended up exactly how Santi and I kind of envisioned it on our predictions video, saying, you know, Kevin Owens, Riddle, and Sami Zayn are going to get the win here, but they're going to put on a good show and kind of help tell the story. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be the collapse of the Bloodline or more cracks in the foundation. And the one thing I love about this entire match, people were saying that Kevin Owens and Sami are falling flat, and they're not. They are just the secondary to a bigger story. And
who's saying they're falling flat?
A lot. Have you been reading the comments?
I try not to.
Yeah, well, I've been reading Twitter and the comments, and a lot of people are saying they're falling flat. I disagree completely. I think the second these titles get separated, this is going to be a whole new upper echelon of tag matches, which is going to be great. But all I really want to talk about in this match is Solo Sikoa. Solo is being booked quite like Umaga was back around WrestleMania 23 as the next big future world champion. And I'm truly starting to believe that this entire storyline is not the Usos turning on Roman. It is Solo turning on Roman.
I'm thinking so as well. Because people are, from what I had seen, the little bit that I had seen after it happened was the build of, you know, Jay and Solo, of them going with Jay and Solo. And then you think, okay, well, what would have to happen in order for it to actually be at some point Solo and Roman? And then you hear other people saying Roman and Jay. At this point, I don't think that that's what's happening. There's still people saying it, but I don't think that that's what's happening at all. I think they're running with Solo. And I think that the storytelling of it and the build of it has been great. I'm so tired of seeing people say the Bloodline is getting stale. It's getting boring. I'm so tired of it. I see it a lot. The little bit that I do see, I see it a lot. It's like, what are you talking about? Because it's not like it's the same thing over and over. It's been a slow build. It's been a slow burn. And now you're watching things fall apart, per se, the way that they are. And I don't think that it's super predictable either. And that I don't know what direction they're going to go next and what the next crack, like you said, is going to be.
Yeah. Can you imagine going back to the late 90s, early 2000s, and people saying the McMahon-Helmsley era was too slow and taking too long, and they were getting too much television?
There would have, if they had the internet the way that we do, oh, they absolutely would have. Yeah.
Like this, for me, this Bloodline storyline, it completely reflects the McMahon-Helmsley era and absolutely. The McMahon-Helmsley regime and the corporation and all of that happened back then. And that was 2 years, 3 maybe, maybe a little bit longer. And it kept coming back to it too. So it was you know what? This is the one reason I hate the internet for professional wrestling, because people aren't patient. And Roman said it best after WrestleMania, saying this was, you got to have a vision. You can't have the TikTok mentality. You can't have the Instagram reel or the YouTube shorts mentality. You have to play the long game and be patient to see how things build. And I agree with him tenfold, because we've been saying it for fucking months. So, but anyways, what a great match. I'm so happy about that. I think we need to leave Cody Brock till last, even though my God, bad fucking bunny. Bunnies can fly. Bunnies can do concerts before they get into the ring.
My God.
Go on, you go, because I'm gonna talk to it forever.
I have so much respect for him. Listen, I didn't know anything about Bad Bunny. When they were saying like the number one, or was he number one?
Number one streamed. Yeah.
Most streamed artist on Spotify, like in the world. I had no idea who he was until he started doing stuff within the WWE, and God, it leaves me speechless. When they did that spot where he actually went through. What did he go through, a table?
He went through 3 tables.
Three tables. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a lot of drinks when I was watching this. Okay.
That's fine.
But I screamed because I just was like, I cannot believe, like, the fact that he had to have gotten so many accolades, like, backstage.
Well,
from people having respect for him for doing that.
I think he deserves all the credit, and people started posting who's better, Bad Bunny or Logan Paul. It's hands down Bad Bunny in the ring. I'm sorry.
In the ring, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny in the ring, hands down. Maybe as a on the mic, it's Logan. I'll give him that. But in the ring, it's Bad Bunny, hands down. He's fearless. He's taken the crazier bumps for me. He's the one who bought the condo across from the Performance Center and was there at 6 a.m. before the trainers.
He loves it.
For
He's been a fan his whole life. He loves it.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
For me, this was bigger than anything he's done.
Oh, yeah.
Now, before we go into everything that happened in the match, can we just give Damian Priest the accolades he deserves? Like, going to that spot about the tables. If you go back and you watch how softly he put him down, considering the bump he took, Priest virtually hit first and had Bunny by his belt and literally held him to hit. And it was one of the softest, most gentlest ways I've seen someone go through a table in my life. But
he loves him.
Yeah, and you could just see Priest carried him through the match, through a lot of the spots that needed to be done. But he made himself look like $1 million and an absolute professional. And if you went back and read a lot of the stuff coming out of Fightful and that kind of thing, the respect Priest is getting backstage right now is showing in his work. And his work is showing in the respect he's getting backstage. So massive shout to Damian Priest in this entire match, because like even when Bunny jammed his knee or whatever in that corner spot that I had never seen done before, it's like a stunner to the leg. I actually thought he hurt him. Like, it just, the way he sold it, I thought he hurt him. And it looked fantastic. But Wheezy, I know there's a couple of spots. You screamed a lot in this match.
I did.
You did. So let's go back to, I guess, your favorite spot in this match. Rey Mysterio is running in to save Bunny from the Judgment Day. And then you hear the music hit. And all of a sudden, it is cool to see Carlito sprinting with that puffy ass hair.
I love Carlito.
All the way down the ring in an LWO shirt. First off, that crowd reaction. Go.
I wouldn't have expected the crowd to be as hot for I haven't expected anyone to be as hot for Carlito as they have been. But I love Carlito. And I don't think that there were a lot of people that even guessed that that would happen, or that it was going to be him that was there. There was like one dude in my stream that happened to say it at the beginning. But man, I was so happy for him. And I actually saw him last month.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw him last month. He was at the Squared Circle Expo. He was such a nice guy. He was so cool with everybody. So much more jacked than anyone remembers.
Oh yeah. I just want to say the one thing. I was reading that 8.2 million impressions across all, or 8.2 million posts have happened of Carlito's return and people's reactions of it since that.
So wild.
Since that can WWE pay attention to this and show that they missed something here? Because
I don't think that they anticipated that.
No, I don't think so either. And I'll tell you right now, if they decide to run with Carlito joining the LWO and actually start making the LWO a strong faction over on SmackDown, fuck yeah, let's go.
Oh my God, absolutely. Carlito spitting the apple in Dominic's face was my favorite. It was my favorite part of the whole.
Yeah, it was.
That was my favorite.
It was really good. It was really good.
He's not cool. Dom's not cool.
And then we had Savio Vega, which was a real nostalgic one for me because like I grew up watching Savio Vega, the feud with Steve Austin. I don't know if a lot of people know the story of Savio Vega and Steve Austin actually were filming a show, and there was a massive snowstorm outside, and they had to do this crazy chair spot, and all the lights went out. And the recording was cut, so they actually had to film the whole thing again the next day with a completely different crowd. But Savio Vega was just a nostalgia one for me for being back in the 90s. This match was just everything with Bad Bunny going over. But I think everybody won. I think Puerto Rico won. I think Priest won. Judgment Day won. LWO finally got a win. Everything for me was just a massive W in this match. And I still, again, don't believe it had any business being this good.
No, it didn't. But I'm really glad that it was. And it was as good as it was where it was. Mm-hmm. It was the right place to have it happen.
Yeah. All right, Wheezy. Now to a match I don't know how we both felt going into this, so I'm looking forward to this discussion. Cody Rhodes defeats Brock Lesnar clean in the middle of the ring with a roll-up. Thoughts?
I love Brock. So my memory picks up immediately just with Brock busting his face open on the turnbuckle.
Which I did call that there would be color in this match.
Did you?
I did call that there would be blood in this match. Because I don't think you can have a fight between Cody and Brock, considering Dusty Rhodes always got busted open.
Yeah, true.
And we had that crimson hair that he always had, quite like Ric Flair. But I don't think this match could have been a fight and a brawl like it was without it, because it wouldn't have been, it would have felt fake.
There's so much blood.
I don't think they anticipated that much though.
No, I don't think so either. Cody was rubbing it on himself.
Yeah, he looked like he had spray on tan. Like he looked like I don't know, you're not going to get this reference, but like where my family's from in Liverpool, there's a running joke that all Scouse girls have a different tinge because they do the spray on tan and they kind of look like an orange. That's how Cody Rhodes looked. He looked like he had way too much spray on tan from the amount of blood that came out of Brock Lesnar. First thing I thought of was Austin Bret Hart.
Yeah.
With how much blood there was. Like, I don't think we've seen a match with that much, minus Joey Mercury getting busted open with the chair or the ladder. I don't know if you've ever seen that spot. If you haven't, go look at it. But that was a lot of blood. And it was almost uncomfortable. A lot of people are saying the match was ended short because of how bad it was. And apparently, from what the reports are coming out of WWE, the match went exactly how it was supposed to.
I love that that's how it was supposed to go. I love, because it wasn't a squash. It wasn't a squash. Mm-mm. There were so many people that were like, oh, this is going to be over within, 2 minutes. No, Brock had a wrestling match.
Yep.
There are not, and with Cody Rhodes of all people, when it's been a while since I've seen Brock in a match with someone like Cody and actually doing wrestling.
Yeah.
Not just being a spectacle.
Yeah, it's one of those
and
ones.
He looked great.
Yeah, you look at Brock Roman, it's semi-finisher and finisher, semi-finisher and finisher, running from the Usos, semi-finisher, finisher. This was a match. They threw bombs. They were inside the ring, outside the ring. Like there was
so many suplexes.
I lost count. I lost count. The Cody cutter into the suplex was great, by the way. I love that spot. I really love that spot. And shout out to the guy in the front row that actually got the turnbuckle. I don't even think he gave that back, because that turnbuckle went flying out the ring, and then there was like a little scuffle in the front row for it. It was pretty cool. If you go back and watch it, like
I didn't see.
Yeah, there's like 6 people like scuffling for this turnbuckle, yanking it back and forth. It's great. But no, and I don't think this feud's over. I
don't think so either.
There's so much more to do here.
I'm glad that there is.
Yeah, because it would have not made sense, kind of like the Omos Seth Rollins thing. I think that might be done. If so, it's maybe got another couple of weeks to it. But I think Brock is going to be that like bane of Cody's existence. Like if Cody's in for the World Heavyweight title, say at Night of Champions, and he's about to, finish the story, Brock Lesnar comes out, disqualification.
Yep. He needs something like this that is noteworthy, that makes him look strong, that is Brock Lesnar and Cody. While Roman is off doing whatever he's doing with there's just 2 big stories being told.
Yeah.
And I like it, and I'm here for it.
I was just trying to think of a scenario at Night of Champions where it could be Seth Cody, Seth finally about to beat Cody clean, and then Cody gets the upper hand and Brock comes out and screws over Cody, but indirectly screws over Seth because Seth still can't beat Cody. But it would be good. It would be good. Maybe that'll happen on Raw. Because they said tonight the 2 triple threats are going to happen. And then is it next week that the finish happens, or is it tonight? By the way, guys, this is being recorded on Monday, so we are like 90 minutes away from Raw. So this is probably going to come up on Wednesday. So sorry that we're reflecting on what is happening tonight.
We're not sure.
Yeah. So, and we haven't even been drinking yet.
No, I know.
Oh God.
But it's big possibility, and Seth is the Beast Slayer.
Yes, he is.
You gotta remember that.
Yes, he is. Wheezy, thank you so much for doing this with me today. I love filming with you. It's always just a cool little bounce back and forth dynamic. I love
lying.
it. Yeah, I am. I wish it was Kevin, to be honest.
Friggin' I don't blame you there. Kevin's pretty cool.
Wheezy, where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Wheezy Blonde and on Twitch at Wheezy Blonde.
Perfect. And guys, you guys can find me at twitch.tv/MrTesh. I'm on the road to 10,000 followers, giving away an Xbox Series X at 10K. And then you can find me on TikTok at Mr. Tesh. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. Do not forget to comment on your opinions on Backlash, and make sure you put that bell on for all notifications that are Straight Shoot. Take care, guys, and be good people.